but for me, in a small area around Houston, for 30 years of hawking, it's been great. So I wanted to point that out, and then I want to add that not only am I nuts over my stories, but also I am not a biologist or a zoologist or even an ornithologist. I'm none of those. But what I have is just an overwhelming desire and a pleasure in seeing these birds, identifying them, taking pictures of them, logging that information on my hawk diaries, and enjoying what I can learn from that. And so that's where I am, and that's pretty interesting. This is my area of interest, and it's 15 square miles, and that's not very much. If you're an international birder, or the state of Texas, or the area around Houston, this is just a little tiny pinprick on the map. But what it is, it's the area that I've lived in now for 30 years, and that's where I've done my hawking. And here I'm watching 14 pairs that I've seen, because I'm out there every day and running here and there, and I see one, and the next day I see, well, I thought I saw this one over there, and so I decided it's the second one, and then I see a mate, and eventually I might find the nest. And to find the nest of these hawks is I keep using exaggerations maybe, but incredibly difficult. You can't see, there's a nest up there, and you can't see it unless a hawk is sitting in it, or you see the hawk go to that nest, and then you can see him. Some of the juveniles, and this is 2010, 6 years ago, and it's before I found any nests. And the juveniles were there, and there's probably 2 or 3 juveniles in this picture, but they're beautiful. They perch in the most crazy places where the adults won't go. And that's a clue. Hey, that's a crazy place. That must be a juvenile. And sometimes it is. You can tell a juvenile by the mottled belly, and their tail is not red, but it's brown or black almost, with a very banded tail. To talk about being attacked by hawks. How many of you have been attacked and hit on the head by a hawk? How about you?
Maybe a mockingbird.
But that's happened to me twice in 4 years, I think, by the same bird.
You got your number.
Can you see the chick there? That's the nest, and that chick is getting a few days away from leaving the nest. And it's this day, when you saw that one there, that I got hit on the head. And you can survive, but it's a good blow.
No blood, no foul.
I think the kids were always wondering, well, did you enjoy that experience? And in a sense, you do. It's pretty special to be. I don't think anybody here admits to being hit on the head. Yes.
Does he peck you, or do you think he hits you with his wing?
He's hitting you with his talons.
Talons?
Yeah, because the earlier one, there's 3 specks of blood. Where he drew blood with that blow on the top. But they're ferocious and aggressive in defending their nest, and that's kind of interesting. And this is that nest I was looking at, and there he is. If he isn't mad,
Looking right at you. Got your
he
number.
won't shut his mouth either. And you wonder what it is. When the chicks come out, both the red shoulder and the red tail, the papa bird seems to be furious and looking for, I don't know if he's looking for trouble, he's just protecting his chick, which is pretty. I'm not there in the evening, but I'm gone. And that's another thing, is just in the big picture. Out there on TC Jester in the evening, I'd be out looking at the juveniles, and they're getting ready to maybe go to it's getting dark, and they're getting ready to go to their roost, and I always am interested, where do they roost? And I don't have much luck at trying to find it. I'll call Mary Beth, hey, hold dinner a little bit, I'm going to be here for a little bit waiting. And she patiently says, okay. And then 30 minutes later, they haven't moved, and I finally have to go home.
Those were the days when I used to cook.
The people on Carrot Street like you. Did you have any trouble with them?
No.
If you're carrying binoculars, you're usually okay.
Well,
Not
yeah.
always.
Not
You
always.
got to be careful. You got to
Yeah.
be careful. And there's a pair of red children in there. I've never found the nest. I probably never will find the nest. But I go in there, excuse me, and search around the edge of the barns, and I hear the hawks. I'm getting into their domain, and they are loud. Well, one day I circled around there and came out, and there was a policeman out hi.
Howdy.
And what you doing? And I said, well, I'm hawking. He said, spell that for me.
Stephen, yeah.
And so after talking to him long enough, we become friends, and he's made it clear that I'm okay. But I found out he doesn't want me going over any fences.
Yeah.
And that's a no-no. And I try to avoid that, and except when Rebecca's with me, and then I just go over a fence, see what she'll do. But and she's worse than the policeman. Then there's another time that I visited the horse barns, and no incidents, and get home, maybe not the same day, but within a week.
It was on a nice, peaceful Sunday afternoon.
Okay, a policeman shows up at the front door and asks Mary Beth, does she have do we have a Honda, and so on and so forth. And I don't know all and then I came home about that time, and we explained to him, but some lady, and this is an F8 4-H area, and so the parents are concerned about their child, just like the hawks are concerned about their little ones. But the hawks don't have policemen to come after you. And this is that same nest in 2013. This is 2014. But look at those chicks. There's one right here. There's 3 chicks in the nest. This one, I don't know if he's undernourished or just kind of squashed in there. Horse barn area, and I took this picture of a coyote, and I put it on my computer, and look what I got, the pup. And I take a glance at a couple of hawks that you might see during the winter. You maybe are aware of the sparrow hawk, and I wonder if you're sophisticated enough to call it a kestrel. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
You're sophisticated. We need to see this Cooper's hawk. How many think you're familiar with the Cooper's hawk? And this is probably the common bird in your backyard. They're a bird hunter. They're vicious, but on the other hand, they're the tamest of the hawks, I think. That you can get closer and get good pictures of the Cooper's hawk. This is about to come up with this beautiful big falcon. Better than there, that's it.